Hello, all. I'm angling my camera up a little because I'm at the airport and don't want to catch all the bustling in the background. So, we have some exciting updates, not just in the student loan world, but in the LoanSense world with our product, as well as I'm just going to share some news, some data. I found some really interesting data on debt cancellation, who it's going to impact, some news around that, and also some company updates. If you don't mind, I want to start right away with some company updates. We're updating our website within the next couple days. Really, really excited about that. We're doing a lot of testing for our lender product and dashboard that we'll be launching soon in the next few months. I'm just excited about our website update, and we will be working on additional LinkedIn resources and ads. So I'm excited for what's coming next. With that being said, I want to dive into, I'm so sorry about the noise in the background. I want to dive into some of the student loan articles. I got a really good article from USA Today. I'm going to minimize my face here. That has quite a bit of data I was reading through. And it's really interesting because I learned a lot through this article, even though I've been working in this space. Let me just turn this off. I'm going to turn off the volume here so I don't hear it. Okay, so, I'm going to skip, is he going to forgive 50,000? Is he going to forgive 10,000 and go straight to what does the data say? Did you know that the largest balance of student loan debt is actually owed by those 35 to 49? More than 600 billion is owed by those 35 to 49. Although the most numbers in terms of percentage of the population from 25 to 34 are likely to hold student loan debt by numbers, but the balances are higher for those 35 to 49. That makes sense. They go back to grad school, right? They get their MDs, they get their JDs, etc. Women borrow more for college compared to men, and Black students borrow more often in greater amounts compared to other race and ethnicities. So it is a racial point as well. Essentially, do you know before the pandemic, 10 million Americans were in default in their student loans? That was literally more than 1 in 5 people were in default in their student loans. 11 million borrowers have been repaying their student loans for 5 to 10 years, and 10.6 million have been repaying for 10 to 20 years, and more than 4 million borrowers have been paying for more than 20 years, which is crazy. If you're in the bracket of these 4 million who have been paying for more than 20 years, you can get your loans forgiven by now, because there are forgiveness programs post 20 years, even if you're a private sector employee, just FYI. For pay as you earn, you can get your loans, not just pay as you earn, but also the standard plan, pay as you earn. The combination of those two. For undergrad student loans, you can get it forgiven, and grad school loans for payee. For repayee, it is different for undergrad versus grad school loans. So just so you know, if you've been paying for over 20 years, you should not be paying when the pandemic ends. So if you know anyone who's in their 40s and have been paying for over 20 years, they should definitely reach out to us so we can help them. Okay, so for the 22 million borrowers who are repaying their loans for more than 5 years, the vast majority would see their debt erased if Biden cancels student loans. Okay, so if he canceled 50,000, then 90% of low-income Black borrowers are expected to get their debt forgiven. If he forgives $10,000 per borrower, then it's $320 billion, and that would erase debt for 12 million borrowers. Just FYI, the average Black college graduate owes $52,000 compared to $28,000 owed by a white graduate. And in 2019, 75% of Black borrowers held student loan balances higher than their original loan, compared to 51% of white borrowers. So not only are they borrowing more, but they're struggling to pay back once repayment starts, right? That means once you're supposed to get a job and repay your loans, they also tend to struggle more. So if you're struggling or have had issues that we're covering in this article, please do reach out, because we'd love to make sure you use the months we haven't been paying to count towards forgiveness, and to make sure that when we start paying again, you don't struggle. That's our core priority. A lot of borrowers have come to us because they struggled with their loans prior to the pandemic, but we're interested in closing on a home during the pandemic, and we're able to help them. So just keep that in mind if any of those circumstances are yours. Carrying more student loan debt pushes down creditworthiness, and in turn, these disparities often prevent Black borrowers from buying homes, starting families, and launching their business. But this does not have to be true anymore. There are programs in place, and it's just a matter of understanding which ones are best for you, what are the implications, and how they can help. So if you have any questions, obviously, by the way, you can get a completely free plan analysis within our app also, by the way, at myloansense.com, just so you know that. If you find this information compelling at all, and if you think anyone can benefit from learning or is interested in learning this, please do share this video, like and subscribe it. Subscribe to our channel, that is. It's interesting. I want to continue on, though. It says, I love the data in this article. Since having a college degree does not eliminate income gaps, white college graduates have over 7 times more wealth than Black college grads. So even despite earning the degree, there's still huge disparities in wealth building. But that's because there's huge disparities in income earning. With the same degree, there are racial disparities in income earning. There's racial and gender disparities. So I like to say and believe a college degree is not the same for everybody. I mean, obviously it depends on what your degree is, but also who you are. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but that is what the data is showing us at this point. So anyway, so the point of this article is to show that this bill is a way to help. The bill to cancel student loan debt is a way to equalize some of the gender and racial inequalities that exist. That's not just pervasive in many other policies, but that also exists in higher education finance. So I wanted to bring that about. Let me just see. And of course, Biden said, I'm not considering $50,000 in debt reduction, but I'm in the process of taking a hard look at whether or not there's additional debt forgiveness that can be given. So they want to help people get extra breathing room. And yeah, it's still the policy, the news that I reported on a couple weeks ago on debt forgiveness being tied to income level. That is still being looked at and still being proposed. So I just want to say that's not off the table yet as well. So that will be a way to target debt forgiveness for those who earn under a specific income. So, okay, let's see if there's any interesting news that I can share without boring you. I think I can link this article in the description so you can read further detail. Let me share this piece of data, though. 27% favor the government assisting with repayment options without debt cancellation, which, by the way, is what exists now in the form of income-driven repayment. 21% favor debt cancellation for those who most need it. So for those who have income limits or have earning limits. 13% believe the government should not change current policy, which, by the way, 13% and this 27% believe the same thing, even though they don't know it, because not everyone has a full understanding that there are policies in place to already address some form of loan forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. So, while support for full cancellation has increased by 5 percentage points since 2020, preference for the government helping with repayment has decreased by 8%. So that's interesting. So there's greater support for full cancellation and less support for assistance with the payment. That's an interesting. I mean, to me, that almost seems like it cancels each other out. But anyways, that's this week's article. We will link the article in the description. And of course, young people are more likely to favor student loan forgiveness. I hope this was an interesting update. Please comment if there's specific educational content you'd like, because I know our channel is often valued for the educational content we provide around student loans. Let us know what content or topics you'd like to learn more about, and we would be happy to post them. Yes, please like, please subscribe. We'll talk soon.